Hi Virgo, welcome to your mid-June 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. I had to start over again because there was a dog barking. So I'm just going to do this over again. The heart of the matter is the Two of Pentacles, and this is a card of maybe deliberating about something, trying to make a choice. This can be two job offers. One of them may be far away. I feel like you may even be dealing with this currently of having a lot on your plate, because we have in the past position the Six of Swords, and this can be a card of relocating, but also going someplace that is more peaceful than where you have been. And so, like for instance, leaving a relationship that has been contentious, or a job. This Two of Pentacles may be something where you're just like a juggler. I think in the Rider-Waite deck they actually have like a juggler. So balancing responsibilities, maybe having your own business as well as a day job or some kind of like hobby that you really enjoy that takes up a lot of your time when you're not working. In some cases this can be juggling, two relationships, and perhaps having left one of those relationships, but the other person is still in your life to some degree. The higher message is represented by the Chariot card, which is, you see the person holding those two horses, horses of duality, black and white, and this is where the victory lies, is being able to transcend some of these. The number two is a number of duality, and victory comes from the opposing forces being integrated. So how this can look like in your, let's say, your daily life is if you have been excuse me, dealing with balancing parenthood and your career. Looking at it astrologically, they are in opposing houses. The 10th house for career, the 4th house for home and family. Somehow being able to integrate that, and of course it might be working at home, or the Two of Pentacles, if you have moved, then maybe you have more freedom. This is the kind of the trade-off, is that you had to relocate, but you also have a lot more freedom of being able to be at home more often. The Chariot is a card of travel. This is the higher message though, so I'm reading it beyond the just the typical interpretation, but looking at it from a more philosophical or spiritual place. And I would say that if you have been through a lot, Virgo, where you feel like people, places, or things were kind of threatening to keep you distracted, you were able to hold your own and get things done and be able to do what you needed to do. And it's almost like being patted on the back that you succeeded in spite of whatever was going on. What crosses you is the Star card. This card is connected to Aquarius, and it is about faith in unseen forces. So, you're an earth sign, so this is going to be always the case with earth signs like you, Taurus, and Capricorn, where you tend to really focus on the things that are tangible in life, and anything that is kind of abstract, or if it's, even if you believe in God, even if you believe in angels or something like that, there may still be a part of you that's skeptical, that unless you can see it with your own two eyes, you won't really believe it. And I often mention the title of a book by Dr. Wayne Dyer called You'll See It When You Believe It, instead of I'll believe it when I see it. And that meaning that you have to envision something first before it's manifested in physical form. And so many people are waiting for this physical thing to arrive, but they're not willing to dream. They're not willing to have any kind of vision in their life. And then they wonder why things don't seem to progress to the extent that they want them to. But they've never really given any power to visualization or any sort of setting intentions or anything like that. And the star card is about, you could always look at the star when it wishes, hopes and wishes. And it's interesting because Aquarius rules that house of dreams, the 11th house. I'm talking about your goals, not dreams at night, which is the 12th house actually. But your hopes and wishes, as they say. Do you dare to dream? And if not, why not? Why are you cynical about that, or why do you shy away from it? Are you afraid that things will not come true? And Virgo is a very industrious sign. You are capable of great achievement because you're willing to put in the work, but you're also taking care of the details. You want to do a good job and things like that. But maybe you need more willingness. Maybe there should be more willingness to do the immaterial stuff, the stuff that is not about the work. The work is kind of like after you have dreamed up what it is that you want. So perhaps that's something that you have to do more of. The other thing about the star card is it can talk about people who have crossed over, who are helping you or that are willing to help you, and you may shut that part out of your life altogether. I do think that in general this may be a tendency not to look at life from the perspective of you have to be able to envision what you want and do things like that. It might be like kind of playing small, so to speak, because you can't see that far ahead. And it makes sense if that is habitual, and it may feel kind of weird to even imagine things that you don't know how you would make happen. But one of the things that they say in Law of Attraction is that you state to yourself, how this comes about is none of my business. I'm here to kind of put in an order to the universe. And I really like that idea, like you're phoning it in. And then just kind of like going about your merry way and trusting that it's going to happen. But you may have that inability at the moment to, like I said, believe in unseen forces. And if you require proof of that this is really going to happen, then it kind of like gets in the way of what it's all supposed to mean. This could be an Aquarius person that's making your life miserable, I don't know, and that you should really look at how they are acting, if this is maybe the person you're getting away from, who knows. What's coming in is the Five of Wands. This can indicate in some cases that there is something that you're going to have to deal with, a conflict, in order to get to where you want to be. So in other words, someone may oppose you in some way for whatever it is that you're trying to do, if this is, career related or what, that it's not necessarily going to be perfectly easy to do something, but you have to be the one to believe that you're worth fighting for, that you're deserving of success. The Chariot is about success, but perhaps this is the early stages of it, and you haven't gotten to the part, you haven't like ascended all the way, but you've tasted success. Well, one of the things too is that the Five of Wands can be kind of getting in the fray, which means that you're willing to compete. If you have, what's that? There's a term that means, oh gosh, level up. Leveling up, and that means that you're willing to expand your dreams, your goals, and go to the next level. You're not just willing to just coast. And that means that you might have to kind of jump in the fray. There may be other people who have a lot of talent who are competing as well. And this can be a very good exercise in getting you to be your best. Sometimes I see this as toxic competition, but I don't necessarily feel that way in this particular case because of the other cards that are here. And Virgos, I think, sometimes are reticent about doing this sort of thing because you may feel like you want to have a... it's not that you just want things to drop in your lap. You're willing to work for them, but you may not like this idea of having to compete. But it could, because I think, I have the moon in Virgo, and I think sometimes there is a feeling of inferiority or insecurity that is present in Virgo, because as critical as you are of other people, you may be that same way with yourself, a perfectionist, and you always feel that you're not living up to your ideal self. And that can create a chronic issue where you feel a sense of not being good enough. Sometimes competition can bring out the best in somebody. Sometimes it can bring out the worst. So only you can decide how this will kind of fly. If this is a personal relationship, there may be some kind of conflict as you are going through some kind of transition in life. But the end result is the Eight of Wands, and it's like movement, things starting to happen. Maybe things were stalling for a while and you felt like you didn't know if you were going to be successful. I feel like this could have something to do if you have started a business and you've been kind of feeling like it hasn't taken off. It might be taking off towards the end of this month, or at least you get some kind of a hint that there's even the possibility. I think that's what the Star card can be too, is that sometimes, when you're seeing something that isn't working out, it can be easy to be discouraged and you can give up too soon. I often say that, when I first started going on YouTube, it took me 2 months to get one client, and I was getting thousands and thousands of views. And I was ready to throw in the towel, and right at that moment was when I got my first client. And then right after that, I started getting consistent clients. And, and obviously when you work for yourself, you're going to have fluctuations in, you're not just going to have any predictable trends, but it certainly was a lot more predictable after that initial kind of a test, if you will. And if I had just given up because I didn't believe that it was going to happen, I would have perhaps never, done what I've done. And, but I understand why people give up, because it can feel very disheartening when something doesn't seem to happen that you think is going to happen. And especially when you feel like, what are the odds? It should be happening by now. And things tend to, it's like if you let go of resistance of needing it to happen, that tends to be when it happens. And maybe that's why, for me, right when I was ready to just throw it away, that's when it came, because I was kind of like letting go of the need for it. And so that's part of law of attraction too, is letting go of resistance. And but anyway, it really is a good reading. I think that the only thing that I would say is that you may be getting in your own way in some sense of the word. So just consider that. And I hope you enjoyed this, Virgo. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. I'm promoting a special deal that I haven't, I've been doing this for 6 months, but I feel like, I might as well promote it because it is a special price, 2 full-length readings, tarot and natal charts, plus transits. And yeah, so that's, you can find out more about that following the link below, as well as my other type of readings. But thank you so much for watching and liking, sharing, subscribing. I do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.